Bismillah. Salam, bro. Today I'm gonna talk about a pretty, it's not controversial, but it's pretty, I guess a kind of taboo topic. Don't worry, I'm not talking about anything haram. We're talking about friends today. Now, particularly friends that are bad influences. The kind of principle that I want to explore today is the statement that you are the average of every, you are average of the five people that you hang around with. Just navigating life, you kind of see the absolute truth in this statement. We're human beings where we are very easily influenced. That's why we have these influences, I guess. Think about it. When there's a certain weather outside, when there's certain rain or there's sun that influences our mood. When there's a certain temperature, maybe it's hot, we get more angry. Maybe it's cold, we get more tired. We get influenced by things that don't really have a consciousness. But then we turn to human beings that have consciousness, that have agenda, that have things that they want to do. How much do you think these other people like you are going to influence you? I've actually got a perfect hadith to illustrate this point. Let me just read it out for you. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, "The example of a good companion, in comparison with a bad one, is like that of a musk seller and a blacksmith's bellows, or furnace. From the first, you would either buy musk or enjoy its good smell, while the bellows, or furnace, would either burn your clothes or your house, or you would get a bad, nasty smell thereof." I love hadith, man. The way hadith are articulated is just amazing, honestly. It's probably one of my favorite hadiths, I'll call it. Now, what is this hadith talking about? It's obviously talking about the influences friends have with you. You have the musk seller, who influences you in a positive way. This is the example of a good friend. He gives you a good smell, or he sells you musk, which is a type of perfume if you don't know. Then you have the blacksmith. There's nothing inherently wrong with blacksmiths, but in the example of a bad friend, they might burn your clothes or leave you with a bad smell. Don't worry, I have a more modern example for you. Hold on. Say you hang out with 5 roadmen who do degenerate activities like drug selling and womanizing and zina, things of that nature. You're obviously not going to be a righteous, upright Muslim brother who gives sadaqah every Friday. In comparison to you hanging out with people who are always at the mosque, who are constantly have taqwa or God consciousness, these friends are going to influence you in a positive way, because most likely your goals are kind of in that direction and your friends are in that direction too. If your goals are this way and your friends are that way, then you need to prioritize. Now you have a problem. If you are engaged in these types of friends that you don't want to be friends with anymore because obviously they don't align with your goals, how do we disassociate from these kinds of people? Lucky for you, I have a step-by-step guide. Step 1, identify who you want to dissociate from. This might obviously be the opposite of the goals kind of thing that I talked about earlier. But it also might be just some guy who kind of is not even your friend, he just kind of bullies you, or he's fake, or something like that. These types of people you need to dissociate from too. Step 2 is obviously the dissociation part. There's kind of 2 ways of going about this. There's ghosting them, which is, I've used that method before. There's also actively going to them and straight up like talking to them and saying, "Look, bro, if you're not going to stop these kinds of activities that you're doing, then I'm going to have to stop being your friend." That's basically the gist of it. Obviously, you need to be more specific about what they do, but that's kind of the outline of it. Also, if it's a whole friend group, then it's going to be kind of worse for you. But I'll tell you why it's fine later. Actually, forget later, I'm telling you about it right now. No company is infinitely better than bad company. That's just a fact. You might cope and say, "Oh bro, these are my best friends, bro. I've known them for so long, man." Bro, who cares how long you've known them for? Most likely, you're only friends with them because you sat with them in school. Think to yourself, Have you actually ever chosen who your friend is? Or is it just some person who's kind of been convenient to you, and you just have the one similarity of you being in the same class or in the same school? To end this video, I'd like to talk about another hadith. I like this one a lot too. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "A man follows the religion of his friend, so each one should consider whom he makes his friend." Inshallah, that benefits you, bro. Take care.